Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everyone to our Monday night leadership call. We are so super excited to have our friend, coach, mentor, sister, Kathi Sottosanti. She's also known as Coach Kathi. For those of you who don't know her, she is my amazing, beautiful friend. I feel like she is my soul sister. We met through Isogenics, but I feel like we have a connection so much more than just meeting just a year or two ago. Just to tell you the little that I know about Kathi, she is a personal trainer, a coach. She's a mom of 5. Okay. And I won't tell you her age, but she's got a kick-ass body. And she does the powerlifting. I've been to training with her. She's showing me how to do some of that powerlift training. She has trained so many people in so many different classes. She's been asked to be interviewed in a magazine, TV, radio. She has so much to offer us. But more than that, I think that she doesn't just train from the physical standpoint. She helps people with their whole mind, body, and spirit. And that's kind of like how she takes on everything she does in life. I would love for her to share a little bit about her story, and then we'll get into a couple of questions. And some of you can, if you would like, ask some questions in the chat as well. Kathi?
Thank you. Seriously, it's been phenomenal. And I love being in your life and having you in my life because we're here to help each other. And I think what it comes down to is being around people who want the best for the other person. I want more for you than you want for you, and vice versa when it comes to me. So we have a connection that is constantly moving each other forward. And that's kind of the premise of what my whole being is in this business, in my coaching group, and much in life. So you're the kind of that go-to person that people come to. And in fitness, or I've been a fitness enthusiast my whole adult life. Back in days, let's say, it was aerobics. And then somehow when the kids came or started coming, it became a double stroller. It became weights in my basement. It was time to go back to work in my early 40s. After my 5th was born, was 3 years old, I went back to work in a gym. But for the first time, I was really aligning up what I like doing as a coach for people in life, regardless of where I worked, with this entire establishment. This gym grew to be about 4,500 members deep. So after I started there, I would get a certification to teach group fitness classes. Then I would get another one for TRX. I would get another one for a yoga-like class. And so I continued to grow myself. And somewhere around 49, I was training with a trainer because coaches need coaches and trainers need trainers. I started to really pick up some heavy weight. I was probably 49. I picked up I did a deadlift of 225 pounds. It was the heaviest thing I had done, or the hardest thing I had done in my life in regard to any kind of exercise. And it was one, that was it. And it really stirred something in me because I was able to do it.
Hold on a second. Did you say you started doing this at age 49?
Right.
Wow.
So my first competition was last year. I'm 53 now. My first competition was 52. So I started at 49, and I started to lift as if I would become a power lifter. My mind wasn't there. In the meantime, I'm teaching classes. So I'm pushing myself in a gym to be a leadership style because I'm doing things that the other women hadn't done, but it gives them something to aspire to. And I recognize that it's a sport that isn't for most people. So I'm not going to overwhelm them to doing what I'm doing, just motivate them for what I do. So, and at the same time, become inspirational and the educational part. So I'm here to motivate and inspire, but educating you is how I connect to you because that's where I meet you where you are. So as a trainer and a group fitness instructor, I am looking to connect with people. And trainer first, group fitness instructor second, I would go into a class where you have come to see me in my group fitness classes that are strength training based. And my names and 4 I'm shaky on, but I'll find out by the end of class. So that I'm not walking into a gym, teaching a group of 30 and walking out. I'm actually in a gym, walking into a room, teaching 30 individuals in a group setting, which is a different mindset of connecting with them. So this connection it grew and grew and grew. And I have this following, and I would write to them on Facebook. And for a long time, it would be me sort of writing out of the box in my posts on Facebook, which would be a little weird. I remember writing something one day and then and being motivational, and it was harsh or hard, but I can get away with it because I do it in a way that is acceptable in my writing. So let's say I said something to the effect 4 or 5 years ago of, I'm motivating you all to get there. Some people have been slacking. You know who you are. I'm speaking to you. Went to a basketball game for a kid where there was no Wi-Fi. Sort of panicked that my message would be taken wrong. Couldn't wait to get home till I got Wi-Fi again. And then I got on and I heard, how do you know? You're in my head. It's like you're talking to me. And I got more confident in how I was speaking to them, became a better way of speaking. So that turned into a blog for the gym for a while and writing for their Facebook page. And then it became part of an idea that I had with my friend Kathi who's also in the business. And we launched our business called Iron Beauty. And Iron Beauty is an online motivational coaching business that also has a like page for Iron Beauty. And I was able to then write a blog in a comfortable place to motivate people that was in a setting that was mine. And it felt authentic to myself. At the same time, I'm now getting into powerlifting, and I'm now starting to lift heavier. In Thanksgiving of 2015, my coach called me and said, would you be interested in doing a meet? And I thought, I've been doing this for a year. Step out of my comfort zone and go for it. What I didn't realize was that it would also be good for business as I progressed in my own self and body. It was also good for Iron Beauty business because now we have this like page and I'm able to show real videos of my workouts. So is my partner, Kathi. She's bodybuilding, powerlifting. So she has to look good on a stage. I have to perform well on a stage in regard to my lifts. So in January of 2016, I have my first mock meet. And that first mock meet was in a gym. And what that means is you have a squat, a bench press, and a deadlift. And you get 3 shots at each one. So now I'm 50 in February, going on 51 in January. No, sorry, I'm 51, going on 52 in February. And I'm doing my first set of numbers. So you probably can't see this, but my first set of numbers was a squat. I had a 165 squat. I missed all 3 bench presses. I wasn't very good at it yet. And my deadlift was a very shaky 275.
Wow.
And then you go for total number. So my total number was 440. It was kind of a bomb, but I was going to get started in my real true training. So I coincidentally, in January, we were in Texas for New York kickoff and they launched performance products. So that was it. I bought a big box. I bought the whole package. I put it in my suitcase and I took it home. And that was I was really my own test study for the performance products. I listened to a 50-minute audio on how to use the performance products, which if anybody needs, I can certainly get to them. But the idea was NOx, which is nitric oxide, 2 hours before you're going to train. So if I was to teach a class at 9 and train at 12, I would take it at 7 in the morning. And you have to take it before you brush your teeth because it works with the saliva in your mouth. So you take it, you swoosh, and you get it into your system. Now that's the first step of my getting ready to train at 12 and to teach a class. So I would take my amped power a half an hour before my strength training class at 8:45 as I would begin at 9:15. So now I'm getting...
Shut your video down for some reason.
What's that?
Did you hit stop video? Okay.
No. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we can't see you anymore.
That happens on my Facebook Live sometimes. So I'm going to keep talking.
Okay.
So, because I don't know how to technically get it back. I see I'm dark, but I'm going to keep talking. So in June, I competed for the first time in the WNPF National. So the WNPF is World Natural Powerlifting Federation. It's all natural. I'm not competing against anybody on any drugs. I'm 52 years old. It's my first competition. I'm nervous as anything, but I've made progress in my training. So between the NOx, the amped power, the recover, and taking the fuel in between my workouts to get me through them, and then a shake every day for breakfast, and I would follow up with Isopro after my training for recovery. and I would have Ionic Supreme in the morning and then after, because it reduces cortisol in the body. So cortisol comes from physical stress as well as mental stress, but mine here is physical. So I'm tearing up my muscle, and that's causing, cortisol to rise, and I want to reduce that to help aid in my recovery. So in June, I compete in the nationals, and my numbers go from what I just showed you, which was a 165 squat. I didn't get my bench, and a 275 bad deadlift. And I had written on my calendar, and I'm sorry you can't see me. I can't. My technology is.
Can you just hit the button that says stop video or video?
No, I didn't touch anything. I can hit start video. Hold on, let me see if it works. And come back on.
Mm-hmm.
It says camera off. There's a slash through it. Oh, good. There I am. Okay. All right. So in June, my numbers, and I had marked on my calendar for 6 months that my deadlift I was going for 300. So imagine 275 in January was shaky. So I went from a 165 squat to a 200 squat. I went from 165, I attempted 200, I missed it, and I got it on my third try. My bench, I got 115, and my deadlift was 300 on my second try, which was a PR, my total goal in life. And I went for my third attempt, and I got a double PR at 305. And the single greatest change in the 3 to 4 years I was training was the amped line in my body. And I went up from 440 to 620 total pounds of lifting.
Holy smokes.
That was a national.
Can I ask you a question to go back? You said that you take the Amp Knox first thing in the morning before you brush your teeth. You're swooshing it in your mouth because it activates with the saliva?
It starts with the saliva in your mouth.
Wow. I never even knew that.
I remember that. I remember the important thing saying, don't take it right after you brush your teeth. So if you're going to take it later on, wait a little while because it activates starting right in your mouth. So I timed everything. I mean, my meals are timed. My amped products are timed. And I became my own test subject, right? So the June competition qualified me for a world competition in November. So now I'm back to training. And in November, this is called the Worlds for the WMPF. And by the way, I'm competing in 50 to 54 in a 148 weight class. And I have no competition. There's no one else 50 to 54 but me. So I'm now, my success isn't coming from winning. It has to come from beating myself. And so that's what I'm going for. I'm going to beat my own records, to beat my own numbers. So my squat went from a 200 in June, and now in November I got 220. So I went up 20 pounds in my squat from June to November. All this is in 11 months of training within 1 year. My bench press went to 120, that's my hardest one, and my deadlift went from 305 to 315. So I went up in numbers by 35 pounds in my lifts. So now I've got a world record, a national record, and a state record. And I'm moving on to this year, and I started again, it takes somewhat of a time off, but I competed in the state championship 3 weeks ago on April 9th. So I go in as my only competitor in my age and weight class, and now my next goal is to again beat myself. And I don't know how far I can go at this age and stage of my life, but I'm going to keep trying. So doing the same thing, I'm eating the same, or eating my meals, I'm drinking my shakes, and I'm taking all my performance products timed as such to continue on with my progress. And I'm able to get a 225 squat, a 125 bench. I'm going for 135. I missed that, but I still went up by 5 pounds. And my deadlift went from a bad 275 last January to 320 pounds. So my numbers have gone up significantly. Now I'm at 670 and my state records. I can't break a world record unless I'm competing in a world competition, but I can break my own numbers and my own PRs. So that's what I did. My new state records, which is the first level, are now higher than my world records.
Wow, that's impressive.
So a press release, my website designer sent out a press release this week for a 53-year-old mother of 5 that's competing in breaking state records. And interestingly enough, these records are from 2015 to 2017. So 2015 back to 1986 in the WMPF, those records are frozen and cannot be broken. So while I can't break someone's records, I was curious to see what the person before me has done, because this is a total of 31 years. So I looked back. I hadn't looked before, and the woman before me who held the record in squat had 170, so I'm at 225, and her bench was 135, so I'm trying to match that. That's my goal. And then her squat was 265. I'm at 320. So in the last 31 years of women in my age at the WMPF, I'm the only one that's gotten those two numbers where they are. And I don't think I'm anything special. I think it's just because I'm doing these things right, and I'm training hard, and I'm using the products that I feel like are a secret that have me, really moving forward with my weight significantly in a year and a half at an older age.
I mean, that's so impressive. And for someone who is in their 50s now, looking like you're in your 20s, with 5 kids and going for this in your 50s, you're showing people how it's never too late to accomplish a dream, right?
Or to get started, even just getting started at 49.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And you give everybody else hope because, as a personal fitness trainer and a professional in the field of coaching, I just believe it's not only what we think about, it's what we really put into our minds. We write the goals down, we go for them. You can really accomplish anything. And I'm pretty sure you would say, you probably never imagined that this is something that you were going to go for, 20 years ago.
No way.
Yeah.
No way would you have told me that 20 years ago that at 50 something I would be stronger than I would have been in my whole life. And I have 5 kids, all C-section. So at one point, my body was just going to explode if I did anything like that in my mind. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have anything to correct it or bring the stomach back in. It is, my core is strengthened by my fitness, by working on all the different accessory parts so that I can strengthen my body as a whole.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing that for me, and what I'm doing for everybody else is coaching. And thanks to Lisa DeMeo, when we were there not 2 to 3 months ago in her kitchen, and I was talking about how I'm coaching people all day, because I'm coaching people in the gym, I'm coaching them through isogenics. Everybody has questions, everybody has concerns, and what I'm learning more than ever is that everybody has something going on, which we all know. However, to say it again and mean it even more profoundly, that everyone has something going on and we have to respect that. But really, everyone has something big going on, and everyone has their story going on, and we all think we're alone. And in these posts of trying to reach people authentically, now in this Coach Kathi, which she suggested, a coaching group, I did. Within 3 days, 400 people in a private coaching group called Coach Kathi, which anybody's welcome to. Keep it private so it feels safe and judgment-free. And I'm about close to 475, working my way to 500 people because they're being recommended to join the group. And because it's closed, people feel safe. I can be more authentic. I'm authentic on Facebook. I'm even more myself, and I can talk about anything in this group setting. It's meant to an environment that's real, that's motivational, that's moving people forward. So I've worked my way through Iron Beauty, Iron Beauty's Life page, and Coach Kathi. And in addition to that, I've launched Lift Group.
Yeah, so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that because I know about your philosophy. You and I are both on the same page. We do a lot of personal growth. I know you've been just recently to Gabby's retreat, which was amazing for you. And I totally believe that it's not only going to the gym, working out, and eating the right things. You have to have the right mindset. Do you agree? And
1,000%.
You started this amazing group, which was called Lift. And I came recently to one of your meetings, and it's love, inclusion, and fitness together, right? It was just a profound meeting of women lifting each other up, and it was just a very safe place for people to talk about any kind of relationships that they had with their food. That was the meeting that I went to, and you had psychologist, psychiatrist that came in, and she talked about like how our relationship with food can be with the mind. And we had some people that have a couple eating disorders and things like that. And it was just such a safe and vulnerable place. And you're opening up that space for people to feel safe in. So I just really kudos to you for doing that, because not only are you building your own business, you're building a culture and a community within, what you're doing. So if you wanted to talk a little bit about that, I think.
Sure. Thank you.
Amazing.
Sort of an extension of where we were. So we have Coach Kathi and then places to write. But I wanted to bring people together in a personal environment, because I am going to these different speakers. I am going to these different places. And I am listening to a lot of fabulous people. And the first thing that I'm learning is what Dr. Laura Berman said was, you heal, you learn, and then you can teach. So a lot of these I would say almost all of these fabulous speakers out there that I go and watch and listen to, and Bill Swan as another one, they all come from something, some kind of hardship in life. These speakers aren't people who have had it so easy and great that they just can't wait to share their awesome story of their perfect life. That is so not it. It's everyone's struggles that get them in front of a crowd. Once they heal and they learn, the ones that can bring it to other people. And I think I have that ability where, as an empath, I can take things in, understand what people are going through, and then I can take their energy, diffuse it, then bring it back to them and show them a better way, so that when they leave my company, I hope in most cases, leave a little lighter in their face. And when they leave a coaching meeting, they leave a little like, oh, okay, now I want to do this. Now I think I can do this. So when you bring them together, the room, and I'm more the facilitator, and it's not my story that makes the room special. It's my working with people who have the story, who share the story that people can relate back to. And so when they come to a comfortable place, they feel safe enough to share their story. That's when the next day I hear, it was so good, she was so brave, I love what she said, it made me think of myself. I may consider speaking at the next one, maybe not yet, but soon. And that safe space is growing. So it started with 6, it was 12. Every single time we have had horrible weather or monster storms. This last week was Tuesday, where you had to stand in your umbrella because you couldn't lift it. At 7:15, we thought, all right, even if we have 6 people, that'd be great. And by 7:30, there were 32 women in a room, and we had to get more chairs. And it was so beautiful to me, because one person or 2 people get something from what someone is saying, you're working to lift them up. And the original idea was lifting the walls of color that separate women, because at the end of the day, really, when we come together, we're women, and everybody has something. So if we can concede to that and honor the women in the room, then we can help each other move forward. And they're asking me when the next date is. When's the next date? I want to come. And this is so far hasn't been with tremendous publicity or promotion for it, and it's just catching on, which is great.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And I love your philosophy. I love how you are definitely an empath, because I know I'm an empath, and, you love working with angel numbers, and, you're all about everything that I love. I'm going to open up the call and see if anybody on the call maybe has questions from a coach standpoint, from fitness standpoint, how they can pick your brain, or how they can ask you a question that maybe can help them in their business. So,
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. I heard somebody open up. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask Coach Kathi?
Kathi, hi, this is Annette.
Hi, Annette.
You're gorgeous. You don't look anywhere near 53.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. I have a question about the knocks, actually. Because there's that commercial that's on TV for that something beats, super beats.
Okay.
And we don't broadcast a lot, or even in the literature say a whole lot about the beats. But that's like this new trend that's out there that people are interested in. And so, of course, they see the commercial or they see the ads. And I happen to have someone who in particular has liked the ad on Facebook. And he's in network marketing, and we're friends a long time, so I do want to approach him about our product. How can I do that? with regard to the knocks in particular. And he is a liver transplant patient as well. So, he knows a lot about John Anderson. So hopefully this could really influence him to come on over.
Right, so there's a couple of things. One, there's a really good, excellent, it's about 50 minutes if you've got time, audio. I first listened to that when it first came out because I, as this person who was in a gym, want to understand the science behind it. That's where my intrigue comes from. So what they said was that in 2012, beetroot juice was the ingredient of the Olympics. It's all natural. It's like the ingredient that all the Olympians were using. So they wanted to create something safe enough for the Olympic athletes to use, and that if tested, you're going to go with flying colors. So beetroot juice, red leaf spinach, and celery. So it's 100% all natural. And that's why it tastes the way it does. You just got to slam it down. And I take it, it's a comfort blanket, so to speak, for my training days. If I don't take it, it's like I'm completely relying on it to help me. So it's nitric oxide in the blood, to get the blood circulating and to get waste out of our body and our muscle and to get the good nutrients into the muscle. So it's all natural. It's been tested. It's scientifically created. This video or this audio would give you more confidence in it. And I know that it was created by like 45 different scientists and labs and doctors that create these products that that it can safely be used by Olympic athletes who are tested. So it's, I know that it's top rate out there in ingredients.
Okay. So if you could let us know what that audio is.
Yes.
Okay.
I have it on an email, and I can get your information and send that to you gladly. And it helps me educate myself on the timing of the products, how to use them. That's where I learned how to do all this stuff. It's meant to increase performance in top athletes by as much as 16%. So imagine a top athlete who's already performing the best that they can. So that's not me. I'm an athlete, but I'm not a top athlete, and I've been able to increase by a lot of pounds in just a year and a half. So if it can increase a top athlete by 16%, it can do a lot for the mainstream people trying to get better in their sports.
Thank you.
Kathy, if you have that call and send it to me, I can post it in the page for our
Awesome.
patients.
Yep.
Everybody can get access to it.
Perfect. Excellent. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And feel free to join Coach Kathi so, we can talk. It's Coach Kathi on Facebook. And, a lot of us are in there, and it's just kind of, keeping it motivated, keeping it light, keeping it positive, but yet real human stuff that we're all going through so that we can, start each day and say who's organized, who's ready, lots of different things.
Anyone else have questions? It's like crickets.
I know. Well, then I'll just say too, from all this stuff, from my interaction with everybody, because they're all so real, almost every day I could write a blog. I don't, but almost every day I could. I have one in my WordPerfect right now ready to go. But because everybody's experienced something, it turns into a blog, which you can find on the website for Iron Beauty as well, because I try to write about real things. And even though they're sensitive, like recently I wrote about food addiction, and that, was part of Lift because people struggle with food, and what this psychotherapist said was as the emotions come up, the food goes down to try to keep the suffering down. And so when we talk about these things and we bring it out in coach settings or Lift meetings or in blogs, and I say often that it's sensitive, but someone has to talk about it so someone else feels comfortable. And I've always written in a way that I could fall flat and wonder what, people say, what are you doing and how do you write like that? But it touches someone and people respond because people need to hear about stuff that's real, because so many people think they're suffering in whatever they have alone, and it's absolutely not true. Everyone, regardless of your thing you're going through, just knowing other people have things they're going through too, makes them feel more comfortable. So creating a community and an environment where, again, it's safe and real issues are allowed to be talked about.
I think Larry had a question. I saw him unmute for a second. Larry? No, I see him unmute. Larry? There you go. We can't hear you. I see you. There he goes. I don't know. Maybe you could type it into the chat.
I have a quick question about Knox while he's getting ready.
Go ahead, Steph.
I take that, like, I just take it every day because it makes me feel good even when I'm not working out. Is that a wrong thing to do?
No, because it helps with circulation in the body. So if you have issues that are regarding circulation, that's what they recommend you do. So, you know, I know people who do take it every day to help, and they feel better as a result of it. So no, I would do it too.
Okay.
I try to, like, I train 5 days a week right now, so I save it for those 5, and I'll take Saturday and Sunday off. Well, not only because I want to save it, make sure I don't run out for my, you know, heavier days.
Yeah.
But no, it's not the wrong thing to do. It's good for the body. And it's all natural. So really what you're doing is taking, you know, beet juice, celery, and spinach, you know, to improve circulation.
Okay.
So it's getting, you know, it's getting nutrients into the muscle. It's taking waste out of the muscle. So you're helping your body.
Okay. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Good to see you.
You too.
Anyone else have anything they want to share or ask a question?
I have a quick question. This is Lola. I've had 2 spine surgeries, so I've had a 3-level cervical disc replacement, and now I have rods on the side of my neck. Do you have folks like that do take your, I mean, I know that I can't do any powerlifting, things like that. I'm the one that said when I was 20, I wanted to look like Rachel McLish. You know, I had a cousin that used to do bodybuilding, but in the workout classes, are there ways to modify those things that I've failed at physical therapy because I haven't improved. Are there ways around that you have?
So when you failed at physical therapy because you haven't improved, what do you mean? Are they teaching you?
That whatever exercise they were doing, whether some of them were land-based, some were pool-based, and my range of motion actually is pretty good in my neck, but it triggered an autoimmune flare, since we were talking about autoimmune earlier, and it's just a nonstop flare, and I just can't get out of the pain.
So the pain is induced by activity, or
it's always there, but it does get worse with activity.
Okay, and specific activities or all activities?
All activities.
Do you take anything for the inflammation?
I saw a new rheumatologist starting me on prednisone. I don't want to take it. I really don't. But, you know, I don't want to get too deep into this on this particular call. But, yeah, I'm taking the Nox. I'm doing the Ionics. I'm doing all the things. The reason that I joined and started with Isogenics is for the nutrition.
Okay.
And that's the best, you know, thing that I've found. But are there other things that I can do other than just walking? And I mean, I do circulation exercises because I don't want another blood clot, you know.
Absolutely.
Like that.
So the greatest thing you can do is taking in the right nutrients, taking in the right food with Isogenics, because it will help your body, because 80% of it is what we're doing in the kitchen and putting the right foods into our body. There's, you know, working with light weights. If I have a room full of 30 people, many of them come to me with ailments. And so if I show modifications all the time, because there should be something for everyone. If like people are coming back to me post surgeries, one mastectomy for the aggressive gene. So if we're doing a bench test, I have her doing bridges. So she's on her back and she's doing something safer for her body. They're coming back. A lot of them have had knee issues or knee surgeries or feet push surgeries. They're coming back. They're doing something that's modified. So if someone's doing something that it's in the class that's a little lesser than or smaller range of motion or lighter weights, so even for the psyche. So my friend who's back after the double mastectomy, she's using 2 small weights on her bar. One of the women in class said to her, "Come on, Judy, it's time to increase your weight." I know I wouldn't say that because I know her being in that room, the small weights is such a huge accomplishment that she's even there. If it takes her a while, and I'm not softy, if I know you can do more weight, I'm going to make you do more weight. I'm also going to honor your mental process of opening the door to a gym. That's the heaviest weight there is, right?
Yeah.
Walking to that front door. So if you're going to have the bravery to come to my class and try something new or different, I'm going to make sure that you feel confident and you leave there feeling you've accomplished something. So I say to people who take these classes, when you're in there, not think about what you couldn't do. What could you do? What did you do? Did you get to the facility? Did you get in the water? Did you start?
Yeah.
Did you have a range of motion? So what are you accomplishing? You can't have failed. You can't have failed. You must have successfully done something, and honor your body and yourself for getting there, for going to the motions. And so either someone was hard on you or you were hard on you, and you felt as if you might have failed exercises, but I bet you didn't. I bet you did some things that were really very good getting in there.
There were things that were extremely tough that some did get easier. One of them was just, when you stand in the doorway and you lean into the door.
Okay.
That was one of the worst things ever. Almost made me cry.
Right. You did it.
Yes,
I'm starting with
I'll put Lola in the Coach Kathi group so she can,
Yeah.
back in there and maybe get some tips from you as well.
Yes.
I want to be mindful of time and maybe answer Larry's question. He finally was able to post it in the chat since we couldn't hear him. It says, Kathi, I also teach classes and train 6 days. I have a bodybuilding competition in June. When's the best time for me to shred?
All right, so that's probably better for Kathy Claudino to answer that question because she's bodybuilding. She's getting on stage in June as well. Did he say June?
Yes.
Where? In New Jersey?
Yes.
And what date? June 3rd?
I don't know. We lost the space.
Okay, so let's find out because he could be competing at the same time as Kathy. And therefore, Kathy Claudino, and therefore she would be able to answer that question a lot better than me because powerlifting isn't about shredding, it's about keeping enough body mass and strength so that you can lift heavy weights. So what happened to me in my powerlifting world was I actually gained 10 pounds in a year and a half. And the only thing I really changed was my supplementation. So I've put on about 8 or 9 pounds of lean muscle, primarily in my glutes and legs, I would say, because they've gotten a bigger size.
She's got some booty pop. That's all I got to tell you. It's amazing.
Yeah. I went from a size 4 to a size 6, and just after a while, just went with it and went and got new jeans because my legs got stronger, and I couldn't lift 320 pounds at 134, but I could lift it at 144.
Yeah. But even for you to put on that 10 pounds when we had that conversation, it was like mentally, oh my God, I put on that 10 pounds, right?
Well, it took me about a year to get new jeans, if I'm telling the truth, because I had to go to the store and try them on and give myself into a new size. And once I did that, now I'm there. Now I just say, okay, it is what it is. But yes, 1,000%. When I looked at the scale, and I had expected, I didn't expect that, and it blew my mind. But then I measured my body fat, and it was in sync with having gained 8 or 9 pounds of lean muscle. And I had to do what I tell all my people to do: chill out, relax, get over yourself. It's the scale. You're putting on lean muscle. Your body, if you're going to lift that kind of weight, your body adapts to lifting it. So when you lift 225 pounds or you lift weight, you tear up your muscle fibers. And the way to repair is to eat well. Protein shakes are great after you're done training. Isopro is a phenomenal thing to have with greens and Ionic Supreme after training, and then sleeping. And that's how you repair to go and do it again the next day. So you grow your muscle when you put your body into duress like that. You're going to grow, and that's how you get stronger.
He says June 24th in New York City actually is his competition.
Okay, so let's find out where it is. That could be a fun thing to do.
Yeah,
Go
definitely.
cheer him on.
We'll go and cheer him on.
Yeah.
I want to be mindful of time. Does anyone else have any closing questions? I think we're good. Kathi, oh my God, thank you so much for getting on the call tonight. We appreciate you and your knowledge and hearing your story. I'm definitely going to pop Lola in the Coach Kathi group, so maybe
Awesome.
she can get some tips of things that she can do with her range of movement. And we're going to find out where Larry's competition is. Maybe we can cheer him on. And
Right.
Thank you again for hosting on the call tonight. We appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathi.
Thank you, everybody.